Hi, my name is Carol for RV Repair Club. RVs typically have all kinds of plastic components and trim pieces inside of them, and most of those trim pieces are white. While the white trim looks clean and crisp when it's new, they often fade to a dingy yellow after years of sunlight and heat exposure. This yellowed plastic is an eyesore, and today I'm going to show you how to bring it back to white. This process does not work on everything, but it is a great first step in saving the original pieces in your RV. It is also important to note that older plastics can sometimes be more brittle. You want to use caution when handling the pieces and during the removal and installation process. For this process, you'll need to have a day or two of sunny weather and a spot where you can place the items outside. You will need clear plastic, a brush, and either saran wrap or a bag that is large enough to encompass the object or objects, and either a hydrogen peroxide or a hair developer, which is a cream form of hydrogen peroxide. This product here is the hair developer version of peroxide. It's available online for a few dollars. I like to use this because I don't have to immerse the item in the peroxide, and the cream seems to stick a little bit better to the trim. I also want to note that this should not be done on anything electrical or sensitive to moisture. The first thing that we want to do is remove the piece that is yellowed from the RV. Most ceiling vents and light switch covers and lights typically pop off or unscrew, and maybe disconnect the wires if it's a light fixture or an outlet. If you want to whiten the face of an electrical outlet itself, such as this, then you'll want to use caution and disconnect the power before you remove this from the RV. Once the device is off, you'll first want to make sure that all of the surface dirt and dust is off of the piece. Once they're clean and dry, we're now ready to apply our peroxide. You want to always make sure that you use your safety glasses and gloves to protect your skin. Then the next thing we'll do is we will take our cream, pour it into a container, and using a brush, we will go ahead and apply it to our device. You want to make sure that when you're spreading it on that you're covering all of the surface so that you don't end up with a blotchy appearance. Like so. Then we'll take our product and we'll put it in a plastic bag and seal it up, and we'll put that one outside. I'm going to do one in the regular peroxide so that at the end of the day, when this is completely cured, we can actually compare both of them. So for this, I will actually use a smaller separate bag. Pour your peroxide in. And then drop your cover in. You want to make sure that the bag is very well sealed and make sure that it gets completely covered in the peroxide, and then we will also lay that out in the sun. The last one I will do is this larger trim piece here, and I'll just do a section of it so that we can see how this one will change while it's out in the sun. And for that, we're actually going to use a larger brush so that we can cover more surface area, but apply it basically in the same manner. So we'll just spread it on like so. Get that in there into all the little grooves and whatnot. And then I'll do a section of this textured area as well. Now this piece, because it's so large, it won't fit into a standard Ziploc bag. So I'm actually going to have to cover this one with a saran wrap and place it outside. And the plastic, all that it does is just keeps the cream wet rather than allowing it to evaporate too quickly. So all it is a thin layer, like so. And that's it. The next thing we have to do is just place it outside in a sunny location. So our items have been out for about a day and we've brought them inside, and let's take a look at how the pieces look. This outlet cover down here is the one that we did not treat. We left that in its original yellowed condition. This piece here is the one that we put in the liquid peroxide, and you can see that this bag did develop a split in it. So you might want to consider using a heavier duty bag or container. But we'll pull this out like so, and then of course we'll wipe it down, and we'll set this one up next to that. You can see that there's a subtle change in color from the two. This one has significantly lightened, however, I wouldn't necessarily consider it back to a full white. These in here are the ones that were in the cream developer, and I'll wipe off the excess cream and set that down, and you can see that that is substantially whiter than both of those. And if I just bring this one over just to see the difference side by side, you can definitely tell that that has whitened a good bit. These could probably use a little bit extra time in the sun and another day or so, and I would imagine that they'll be back to being substantially whiter. But you can see that outlet. So this was the cover that was originally on that outlet, and you can see that they actually match pretty well. And then this is our light fixture. We did this in the cream as well. So we'll just pull this out and set that aside. And again, you can see the substantial difference in color between our original colored light plate and the white plastic on this. So it has substantially whitened, and I think another, bit of time in the sun, it will certainly lighten it up much more. The last one I want to take a look at here is our big ceiling vent cover. And as you know, we only did a small section of this and wrapped it in plastic. So we'll pull the plastic off here. And wipe off some of our extra cream developer, like so. Let's take a look at this result, because this will actually show you on the same piece how this actually lightened. So the face trim here was probably in more direct sun because of the way that it was positioned on the table. But you can see that the face here has significantly changed in color from this side here. This was all pretty consistent in terms of how yellow it was. The side here, interior, it had this really deep, dark yellow banding inside of it, and you can actually see how that is lightened. And I think if you leave it out in the sun for a few more days, this would lighten up substantially more. It may not be perfect, but it certainly will be a lot whiter than it was originally, and hopefully you'll get a few more years out of it.